Rock music as we know it exists because of a technical problem. In 1960, during the bass recording of this song, the bass player plugged into the usual channel strip, but it ends up being a broken one and this sound came out. In 1961, the song became a massive hit, and then in 1962, Maestro released the first ever guitar pedal produced, the Fuzz tone, meant to recreate that sound. When, funny enough, originally it was marketed as a way to make your guitar and bass sound like horns and violins. Here's a piece of the original demo of the time.
Here's a surprise. We're playing guitar, but the sound is trumpet.
And also, if you are interested in this kind of nerdy stuff that for real nobody gives a shit about most of the times, I will put a link in the description for the full demo. The pedal was brought into a Rolling Stone session and this riff was born. Originally, funny enough, it was recorded as a placeholder for a horn section, so it should have sounded like this. But again, one of those ugly but godly sounds. The song became a massive hit and everybody wanted that sound. But here I want to say something. Think about the music of the 50s and the 60s. Miles Davis jazz, the blues, and ballads like Don't Worry. Overdrive already existed in a way. Blues players used to crank their amp. Distortion was achieved by ripping off a speaker sometimes. Fuzz is different, okay? How amazing and weird is that someone somewhere in a studio, rehearsal room or at home, by listening to this disgusting, distorted, harsh, ugly sound, and even nasty, thought that, wow, this is a sound that I need. How it's even fucking possible? She loves you, yeah, yeah, she loves you, yeah, yeah, she loves you, yeah, yeah. Oi mate, you gotta listen to this stuff. Hi mate, Sam, what's up? Is this new Fuzz tone is distort the sound? It's really good. Fuzz tone? Let me try. Oh, this shit is dope! I told you! Fuzz became one of the most used sound in recordings. Every band wanted that sound and every brand wanted to create their own one. The pedal was brought overseas and in 1965, Sola Sound in London released the Tone Bender Mark I, one of my favorite Fuzz, as their own take on the Fuzz tone. Along the year they released version 1.5, 2, 3 and 4. And luckily for them, the Tone Bender Mark III arrived at the hands of a talented British kid called Jimmy Page. The rest is history. How many bands has been inspired by them? How many babies have born because of Led Zeppelin music and Jimmy Page guitar playing? Maybe you and I are here because of a Fuzz. Think about it. After the Tone Bender Mark I, we got the Mark 1.5. Long story short, the Mark I is a 3-transistor Fuzz and the 1.5 a 2-transistor Fuzz. That pedal inspired this pedal, the Fuzz Face. And did you know who famously played the Fuzz Face? Well, let me play you a riff and try to guess. In case you didn't know, are you for real? That was Jimi Hendrix. Then in 1969, an American brand called Electro-Harmonix decided to release their first Fuzz, the Big Leaf. And one of the most famous players, if not the most famous one I think, it was... Gilmour is still alive, luckily enough. And now I want you to think about the weird turn of events here, from a ballad with a never heard before bass sound to the concept of guitar pedal itself that ends up being played by one of the most influential players of all time. And think about how many of you started because of Gilmour, Page, even Hendrix, and all the players that were inspired by them. Even during these days you can hear the fuzz sound, not in mainstream music because there's a sound that is not plastic and overproduced, go away devil. And in 2022 there's a gazillion type of different fuzzes, so I'm giving you permission to buy as many pedals as you want to try the perfect one for you. You're welcome, but please don't do it. It is worse than drugs. But how can we still use fuzz sound? I already showed you the classic, the sound that shaped rock music itself, so I'm gonna show with you, if you like, a bunch of different and weird takes. Shall we? Something that I always love to do with my guitar is trying to sound like another instrument. And because I'm a big rock metal and prog rock fan, I always love keyboard players, especially Jordan Rudess and Keith Emerson. So when I needed to solo, but I don't want to sound like your typical distorted guitar, let's say, I'm always trying to get that synth lead type of vibe. And with Fuzz, I was able to achieve that sound. Let's start with a clean channel. This is an emulation of a matchless on my Headrush FX unit. That sound amazing, and now let's engage the fuzz. This is my Nettuno fuzz from Dofix. By the way, this was the fuzz that you heard throughout all the video. For all the covers, I was using this fuzz. And it is amazing how with just one pedal I was able to get a fuzz face, almost tone, big muff, and even a tone bender. Dofix, you did an outstanding job. Of course you can use overdrive or distortion, but in my personal experience, using fuzz can give you that type of square wave feel more easily than distortion and overdrive. Now an octave up. To get that monophonic type synth sound, we need to get rid of the pick attack. So neck pickup, tone completely closed. Most synthesizers have the ability to fine-tune each oscillator a little bit different. So to get that detune vibe, we need some chorus after the fuzz and we're really good to go. A little bit of reverb and delay, and then to emulate that cut-off game that most keyboard players do, just place a wah-wah after the fuzz. Then the same thing can be applied for synth-based sound. When I was a touring bass player, I always needed to replicate EDM type of sound because pop music, modern music, those type of song. So instead of an octave up, the same setting without delay, of course, and an octave down. If you can, try a Boss OC2 because it is the perfect one. It gives you that sub-bass vibe that is really really, really nice. Listen. And if you are a metal player, please don't sleep on Fuzz. This can be the perfect sound to blend with your high gain tone, okay? But even can be your main, because it can get really fucking heavy. Listen, this is a single coil type of guitar. She's a Hondo from the late 70s, so nothing that you will typically associate with metal. But listen how heavy it is. And something that I like to do for spicing up my metal sound, let's say, is adding an octave down, okay? Use a wah-wah and listen how filthy you can get. Just a couple of years into my Fuzz journey, let's say. I started by playing the model in my Headrush FX unit, then I bought just a couple of ones to try things out, the classic and some modern twist. And if you're new to the Fuzz world, go subscribe to JHS, okay? Josh Scott is doing an amazing job for the guitar community. He knows everything, and also he has one of everything, I think. If you are a gear nerd like myself, it's like watching porn. Okay, I don't think I found my go-to Fuzz, my perfect Fuzz, my ultimate tone, but I definitely found a tool that helped me achieve my highest level of expression, sonically speaking. My name is Gianluca, I'm a guitar player, singer and songwriter from Italy, and every week I explore sounds and boundaries of music here on YouTube. And until next time, remember, you're lucky, my man.